Story of my life. The 19 years of my life have been a struggle, not only for me, but the people who stand behind me the most, my family. Growing up wasn't easy for me or my parents. When I was about a year old, I saw my father, and that was the last time I saw him. I often think to myself, did my father leave me on purpose, and is that the way I am today? I also wonder, if I had a father figure in my life, would it be better than it is now, or would it be worse? My mother is the father figure in my life. She told and taught me things I should know in the future. One of the things she told me was, never depend on a man. Be there for you. Depend on you. If a man says I love you, ask him why and make sure it's for the right reasons. Most men will step on your heart. My mother had to teach me these things because I never knew it from a male's point of view. Yet, did I listen? No. My mother has struggled to provide for her 8 children. My older sister, Latefia, my oldest brother, John, my 3 little sisters, Jamila, Taisha, and Tatiana, and my 2 little brothers, Anthony and Hakeem. Sometimes she takes care of my nephew, Nathaniel. We all live in a 3-bedroom house, and it was hard to deal with. In the summer 2007, when my mother was living in Poland, it was crowded because our 3-bedroom house only had room for 4 children. We had to make some choices in our lives that was going to make her life easier. My oldest brother moved to Arkansas to live with my uncle Craig. My sister and I went to live with my uncle Junior in Neptune, North Jersey. My oldest sister went to live with my great-grandmother. 4 months later, we all decided that we could not stay away from each other forever. We all moved back into my mother's house. Things were starting to come together for us. 1 year later, things began to get dramatic for us. Everything began to go downhill again, and I made another choice that was going to mess up my life. I went to live with my great-grandmother and great-great-grandmother in Philadelphia. When I stayed at my great-grandmother's house, I attended one of the most dangerous schools in Philadelphia, Germantown High School. I witnessed everything in that school, from people dying to teachers getting their heads smashed through glass. That was too much for me to handle, but I didn't want to leave my family behind because they needed my help. During the school year, a group of guys decided to jump a female. That female happened to be me. I was beaten by 4 or more men. I was kicked, punched. No one knew that. I just kept it to myself. I asked my grandmother to take me home to my mother because I didn't want to end up dead in the alley or critically injured. I went back home only to find out that my mother had moved. I later found my family living in a hotel room. My mother still had been struggling. To comfort her, instead of her crying each night, I stayed with her to help her with the kids. I missed school a lot. Months went by, and my mother finally got the help she needed from the state. All she needed to do was find a house. We started going back to school again, and my mother was able to find a job at BPUM Child Development Center. Although we still have our struggles, we all are still determined to be together because, after all, we are family.